Hi guys, welcome to part 3 on how to set yourself up for a super successful year as a freelance makeup artist. Part 3 is going to be all about how to execute those goals and that plan that we put all that work into. So if you missed those videos, go back. They're the past 2 videos from the past 2 weeks. If you're new here, I'm Lauren D'Amelio Ventry. I am a global makeup educator and I've educated thousands of makeup artists throughout my career, and I am here to help educate you. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please go down into the comments section. Let me know what you have questions about. I am here to help. I put out videos like this every single week. So if you like my content, please make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a video. In this video, part 3 of our series, it is going to be about how to execute that plan, execute those goals. I'm going to give you a free download. You could go right now, click the button below, and it is going to give you a free fill in the blank schedule guide so that any events that you have that you need to make a schedule for, whether it be weddings, special occasion, anything possible that you need a schedule sent to your client, you can easily just fill in the blank. And it's super easy, super straightforward, and your client will absolutely love it. They'll think that you are the most professional, amazing human and vendor that they have. So make sure that you're sending that out about a week or 2 prior, at least, to their wedding. If you want to send out a tentative one when they first send in their contract, you totally can. Let them know it is subject to change, because honestly, whenever I make a schedule too far out, we're changing it so many times. So I normally like the final schedule to go out about a week or 2 prior, because you know that the videographer or photographer or anyone else isn't really switching up their timing at that point. They're not really adding any more people to the schedule at that point either. So you know that's really set in stone and you have something solid to work off of. Anyway, go down, grab that below. Hope you enjoy it. It will make your life so easy just to fill in the times and names accordingly. Everything that I talked about in the last videos in how to set goals, how to manifest, how to plan out your year, all of that is so important. And now execution of all of that could be the most important. I need you to understand that if you're not executing your year properly and hitting those goals that you set up for yourself, you're going to be really disappointed at the end of the year. So I want to just go into talking about how to truly execute events super seamlessly so that you don't need to look back and be like, oh my God, if I just would have prepared a little bit more, I could have done this so much better. Or I would have gotten better content from that client if I just would have given myself a little extra time. So first things first, when you do get that inquiry or you do get a contract sent in from your clients, you need to start in your head making a plan and really learning how you're going to execute for their big day. So you need to know their location, you need to know the timing, you need to know the photographer's arrival time, the time their hairstylist is coming. You have so many moving parts. So in your contract that you send out to them, make sure that you are getting all of this very important, vital information in order for you to execute their big day properly. Once you have all of that, you can make this tentative schedule. And making a schedule is super, super important. It's going to make your day and your life so much easier on their big day. So what that means is getting all of that information. Let's just say you have a start time of 9 a.m. You know that you need to be in that parking lot or that street of wherever you're going at least a half hour before, because you need to plan for traffic. You need time for all of your team to meet there if you do have a team. And I talked about teams and all of that. If you want to start a team, I have other videos that you could go to. Just go to my channel, search team building, and you'll see all about that if you want to build a team. But you want to make sure that you have enough time that morning to have everyone in that space at least 15 minutes prior to your start time. So all of this really does help. Just get there early, set up early, make sure you're ready to start on time. So my schedule breakdown below, you can grab that download, will help you break that down super easily. Making sure you're scheduling yourself properly. If you know you or your team needs at least an hour for bridesmaids or 45 minutes for bridesmaids, make sure you're putting that in properly into the schedule, making sure that you have the right amount of people in the schedule, sending this schedule to your client to look over prior to the day of. At least, I always say a week before. This way, the days leading up to a big event, sometimes clients are super busy, they're super stressed, they're not gonna look through their email. You're not going to get a response from them sometimes. So giving them at least a week to review that schedule is very, very, very important. client, because then they could give any tweaks back, making sure the location's right, making sure all the timing's right, making sure the end time's right. End time is so important. So you want to make sure that you're scheduling everything. Basically work backwards. If you know that you need to be done at 12 and you have 3 appointments and you need an hour per client, make sure end time says 12. Maybe it even says 11:45, just so that you give yourself a little push time. And then from there, you know that the last appointment is going to start at 10:45, and then the appointment before that starts at 9:45, and the appointment before that starts at 8:45. So you know that you need to get there by 8:15 or 8:30 to set up and in the parking lot by 8 a.m. It's so easy to work backwards and make sure that your timing is flawless. I also like to leave myself a little time at the end to make sure that I get content before their photographer comes. So if their photographer was going to be there at 12, I really want to make sure that I'm done by 11:45 so that I could get my own videos and photos. Sometimes when the videographer or photographer comes in, it's just so rushed and you don't get the content that you want. You're disappointed because sometimes you don't even get any videos or photos from them for months after, if you do get any at all. So very important to try to leave time for yourself to get those after photos. Make sure you have time to take before photos and even process photos in between videos, whatever you want. This is so important when you are doing clients, is to get content of your actual clients so that you could post them, and that will bring you future clients. In my Makeup Artist Blueprint, I talk a lot about this, how your future clients become your content and that attracts future clients. It's just a revolving wheel and it really does make a huge difference to get that content. Once you've sent out the schedule to be approved and they approve it, oh, everything's great, thank you so much, you know that you're ready to go as far as that day, a big day. You know timing is going to be amazing. We also need to talk about how we're going to show up to these events. Now, we don't just get to roll out of bed, get there without making sure our kit's fully ready, making sure our clothing is appropriate, making sure we look decent. So what I like to do, my night before kind of ritual or routine, is sit down, go through my kit, have a checklist kind of everything that is in my kit that I might have to replenish. Maybe it is spoolies, makeup spoolies, or Q-tips. Maybe it's lashes, because we all know we go through those like water and it's the last thing that you think of replenishing. Or maybe it's makeup remover wipes. A lot of the times it's not going to be actual makeup product unless you broke something or ran out of it. A lot of the times the things that you forget that you need to replenish are the disposables or the lashes, or even maybe you give your brides or clients touch-up kits, replenishing those touch-up kits. Just making sure that you're going through that little checklist in your head of everything that you need. I could even give you a free download of a nice little checklist for you guys to go through just the day before ritual, going through your kit, making sure that you have everything. Super, super helpful, super, super beneficial. You know that you're arriving on time to your client with everything that you need, and you're not showing up without lashes. God forbid you don't have a team with you or other makeup artists there. What are you going to do in that circumstance? I mean, you could probably DoorDash some, but you don't want to put yourself in that situation. So making sure you're going through that list, making sure that you have everything in your kit, making sure your kit is clean, wiping down products, all of that very important. Refilling your alcohol, refilling your hand sanitizer, anything like that, just going through, making sure it's perfect, it's all by your door. I don't like to leave my kit in the car because especially summers get really hot here, winters get really cold, things can break. It just isn't great for the products in your kit anyway to go through such extreme temperature changes throughout the day, coming from like maybe it's 30 degrees outside and then you come into a home that's 70. It's just not good for your products to be going through those temperature changes. So keeping your kit safe, bringing it inside. There's a lot of auto theft now. There's a lot of break-ins. So you, God forbid, don't want all of that stuff taken from you either. I know, scary world out there. Keep your stuff safe, bring it inside. Making sure your brushes are clean, do that the night before so you're not worried about it the morning of. I also like to lay out, I have 2 kids and a husband, so in the morning at like 4 a.m., I can't just turn on all of the lights and rummage around my house like I could when I was single living at home by myself. So I need to lay out all of my clothes because I can't turn on my lights in my bedroom because my husband's sleeping. I have to lay it all out the day before and make sure that it's in the bathroom so that when I sneak out of the room at 4 a.m. and into my bathroom, I could turn on my lights. My clothing's there, my socks are there, my shoes are there, if I want to wear maybe a logoed hat that day, I have that, and I'm not turning on all of my lights, waking everyone up in the house and torturing everyone around me. So I make sure all of that's there. I even like to lay out the night before water bottles and maybe protein bars because you never know how long your day is going to be. You also never know if they're going to offer to give you any food or water or coffee. So making sure you have all of that laid out so that you could just grab it on your way out the door will make your morning so much easier. And yeah, that's really my day before ritual, going through my kit, making sure everything that I need is laid out for me the night before so that when I wake up, I just get up and go. Another really great tip that I learned, I still set multiple alarms, but I don't press the snooze button. Now again, my husband would probably kick me off of the bed if I'm not getting up after the alarm's going off. But it's also like torture to you. So like if you know that you need to be up at 4:45 and that's really the time, maybe you're giving yourself 45 minutes to get ready and out the door in the morning, you have to be out by 5:30, you know that you need to be out of bed by 4:45, set your timer maybe at 4:45, because then you know in your head, I need to get up. I can't just snooze, because all those times that you're snoozing, it's really, you're not getting good rest in between those 5 to 7 minutes that you're snoozing or the 2 minutes apart that you set your alarm. I do set multiple alarms because I, God forbid, don't want to ever accidentally shut it off and fall back asleep. I do set multiple alarms for that, but try to wake up on the first time that your alarm goes off and set it to a time that you know you need to get up. Like that's it. There's no snoozing. You're going to feel a lot better. It is a really good tip. I used to be the biggest snoozer and now I'm not. I'm still not a morning person. So if anyone could give me tips on that, I would love it. But that's why I like to have all of my stuff ready for me to go and execute the day to the fullest potential. Now that we had our schedule approved, we have all of our, day before ritual done, our brushes are clean, our clothes are ready, our kit's ready. Now we're at the event. It's the morning of the event. We are in the parking lot a half hour early. We are walking in on time. We gave ourselves 15 to 30 minutes to set up. We are starting our makeup, the client's makeup, making sure we're going over everything from their trial, if they had a trial, maybe having a consultation with them, making sure we're going into the makeup appointment as great and knowing as possible. Really understanding what your client wants is so important. Having a good consultation is so important prior to just going in and doing makeup and then having to try to change things or having an unhappy client at the end. You really need to listen to your client when you have a consultation. Going in and doing the makeup, I always say at the beginning of the makeup application, whether it be a trial or their big day, whatever it might be, I say to them at the beginning, I go, I'm a really mean makeup artist. I don't let you look in between during the makeup application, but at the end, I'm gonna give you a mirror. You could get this close to the mirror. You could hold it hair from your nose, and I want you to rip it apart. When we're done, I want you to rip it apart. You could have mom come over, you could have sis come over, rip apart the makeup. Let me know anything that you don't like and I will change it. By saying this to them at the beginning of the makeup application, and laugh when you say, I'm a really mean makeup artist, I don't let you look throughout the application. And then when you tell them to rip it apart, they will laugh. They will think it's so funny, but it will save you a lot of stress and a lot of time so that your client's not looking in the mirror throughout it and they're not picking things apart, because we all know you need to trust the process. You might look a little crazy throughout the application, but it all comes together because in our heads we have a plan on what it's going to look like. Your client isn't going to know when you start off with their brows. They're not going to look that dark by the end of it. They're not going to know when it's just their eyes on that the eyeshadow might look a little softer. So making sure that you're talking to them through it and letting them know your process, that will also settle their nerves. And at the end, they know that you left enough time to go through it and change anything that they don't like. Also, at the end, I like to take a picture, look at it, make sure if there's anything that I don't love in the picture or something that you might want to edit it in person. Do it right then and there, because their photographers are not going in and face-apping and face-tuning your photos. Make sure it looks so good that you don't need to do those things. And being able to take a picture at the end, looking at it and being like, there's a gap in between that lash, or that brow needs to be a little bit higher, or the blush isn't popping as much as I want to, or I'm not loving this lip color. Don't rely on editing. I feel like so many artists have fallen into this groove of editing. Don't rely on that. Edit in person. Give yourself enough time to edit in person. That's going to be amazing. That's going to make your client so happy. Her photos are going to come out amazing. Everyone's going to tell her how beautiful she looks. She's not going to look back and be like, oh my God, I hated how I looked on my wedding day and I was sold by a dream and an edit on Instagram. So don't be that artist. You will not get that far being that artist. Once you've made your client super happy, you've taken your pictures, make sure you are posting this content that you took, something that I really believe in. And I want to include this during the execution part. It could have really been talked about in the planning part, but when you're executing your year, try to give yourself maybe Mondays to go through all of the content that you've taken from the weekend, because this was something that I didn't do throughout my entire 20s. It's still something that I'm currently working on now, but for 2024, I am having Mondays as my day to evaluate the past week, pick out any content that I really love to post, make sure I'm setting up those posts and even putting the captions so that I have things to post throughout the week without having to set aside an hour to find the photo, make sure that I write the right caption, revise the caption, post it. That takes time, and sometimes you don't have time, and then you're like, oh, I want to post it at 9 and now it's 9:15 and you still haven't gotten it up, and then you don't post anything. That is going to save yourself a lot of time. Having maybe Monday mornings to go through everything, figuring out what you want to post throughout the week, that's going to be a great thing. Also, going over anything that maybe didn't work out over the weekend, like, oh, maybe bride showed up a half hour late to your appointment and now that made you late for your next client. Maybe you want to add something into your contract, like every half hour late is a $75 fee because that is your time. Maybe you want to add things into your contract. Maybe, you know what, I was giving myself 45 minutes for bridesmaids. Maybe now I need an hour. I just didn't give myself enough time and I want a little extra time. Take these mental notes, reevaluate each week. This is super important, and this is a very important part of execution, is reevaluating everything throughout the process. So taking Mondays to have just a business day, work on what you're going to put out for content, work on just reevaluation of your business, and reminding yourself of your goals on Monday and planning on how you're going to hit those goals. So as you can tell, Monday is a really important day for me, and it should be a really important day for you. This is our regrouping day. This is our day to really reflect, make sure the rest of our week is set up and it is already confirmed. You have all your schedules out. Everything's going to run smooth. Your trials are going to be great for the next 2 days. And then you also have a nice day for yourself, hopefully on Thursday, to get anything done that you need to get done for yourself prior to the busy weekend ahead. So if you can't tell, Mondays are really important. Another thing that I really like to do the first Monday of every month, I like to sit down and look at the full month, not just the week. Look at the full month. Maybe there's important events that I have going on in my life. Maybe I have a wedding to go to. Maybe I have a holiday party. Maybe it's a holiday coming up and I need to buy some presents, and I want to make sure that I'm not trying to scramble last minute, because that's what we do in a busy lifestyle if we're not prepared and we're not executing things properly. So making sure that we're figuring out, oh, I need to go buy a dress for this wedding that I have at the end of this month. Another thing that I really like to do is quarterly and monthly look at what I have maybe for the next 3 months. Maybe I have a destination bride that I need to book travel for or the hotel for. I need to do that. I don't want to be doing that the week before. I don't want to be scrambling. I don't want to be torturing my bride trying to communicate with her to set everything up. Make sure you're doing that well in advance. So this is huge when it comes to execution. It's huge to look at your plan that we went over last week in our video. It's very important to look at the things that we have in our calendar months ahead, weeks ahead, to properly execute that plan. So we need to maybe set up our travel, or maybe you have a personal event that you need an outfit for that you don't want to be shopping hours prior because you didn't properly plan or execute. So making sure you're doing all of these things, it's going to make your year go so much smoother. You're going to be able to have fun at your own events. You're going to have a great life-work balance. You're going to be able to go out, have fun, not be stressed, and have cute outfits for once, and get yourself ready for once, and do things for yourself for once. And also making sure your clients are well taken care of as well. When we have these goals, when we set the plan and then we execute them properly, that is when you are going to see the biggest change in your life and in your career. I'm telling you, ever since I started doing that with my husband, making these goals at the beginning of every year, it does not need to be January 1. It could be any point of your year, whenever you're watching this, and you just need a change in your life and you're ready to really, truly be happy and successful in your own life. This is going to change your life. These tips are going to make you successful. These tips are going to make you happy. These tips are going to bring you in money. Everything is going to help you accomplish your goals as long as you do the right things in the right order. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. I really hope that you're able to even take one thing away from this training. And let me know if you liked any of this. If you do put these goals and these plans and these execution into action, please tag me on Instagram, Lauren_D'Amelio. I would love to see what your goals are. You could even comment them below, put them out there in the universe. Let me know how you're executing these plans. Let me know if you need help further executing these plans. I am here to help. Comment below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Again, I'm Lauren D'Amelio of Entry, and I am here to help you become the most successful makeup artist that you could possibly be. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Enjoy the training. Grab your free resource. Talk to you later.